I genuinely feel like so many of you would benefit from going on retreat with Chesaray and the group of people that gather for her retreats. They are such a special time of connection with a group, of learning in your body what it's like to feel safe with others while being in our most vulnerable and tender states. Chesaray retreats have brought about some of my biggest openings, some of my biggest felt sense transformational moments on my awakening journey. They are truly that deeply impactful. They are just like this Chesaray and like I said, the people who tend to gather at these retreats, and they're done via Zoom, so you can do them from anywhere. They tend to just create this very potent and healing container, where they're just like dripping with grace. There's so much grace, but it's this gentle, nourishing and nurturing grace, while yet simultaneously being deeply transformative and restorative. I mean, there's nothing like a Chesaray retreat. They are just so special to me, and I would just be so honored to see some of you at her next retreat. And you know, when I was in my meditation this morning, a lot of times in my morning meditation, that's where I learn what I'm going to talk about, sort of, in today's in the daily video. And when I was in meditation, I just felt and feeling into Chesaray's retreat coming up on June 3rd and 4th, and then feeling into inviting you guys on it, I just felt my heart just start opening, and I felt so much excitement about it, and I was like, oh, yep, that's what I'm doing today. And so, yeah, I just wanted to come forward and just share, like, these retreats are really magical. They're so valuable, and you get so much out of them. And all you have to do is show up. You just have to be there. That's all that's required of you. It's just to bring your presence there. And like I said, they're so healing because it's all relational. You're part of a group, right? And yeah, they've just been so special to me. Chesaray is, without a shadow of the doubt, the most, and I know, you know, it's all subjective in what works best for us, but to me, she is just this master of you know, a master of the somatic healing arts. And so her transmission is, and her way of working with her students is so grounded and embodied in the human, yet there's still, you know, infinite divinity and grace that her presence and her field offers as well. You know, she has this very angelic presence, and so much light shows up, so much of this healing and tender, loving light shows up on her retreats, yet they're so profoundly human, and they're so, you know, rooted in our humanity. And so just her combination of bringing the higher into the earthly realms, bringing like the heaven into earth, to me it is just so special. And yeah, I would be so honored to share her and, you know, what she offers, her retreat, with all of you guys. And so the retreats, they tend to be, you know, a good amount of sitting in silence together. And this is where we soak in presence. This is where we really get to, you know, soak in and absorb the grace that's there for us. And so we do that for a good amount of time. And then the rest of the time, we get to do inquiry with Chesaray. we get to come forward and share our present moment felt sense experience, or we get to offer something that we're really struggling with in our life, and we get to bring forward our, sometimes our like I said, our deepest struggles and things that we're really hung up on. And then sometimes we do some dyads with some of the others in the group, and she'll pair us up, and that's always a really special time too. And we get like little breakout times during the lunch breaks where if we want to talk, we can, but if we want our solitude and alone time, we can have that too. And it's not even required that we come forward and share. That's very optional. That's only if you're called to do that. Sometimes on retreat, I know I've just enjoyed, typically in a Chesaray retreat, I'm always going to come forward because I just love to, it's just such a big opportunity for myself to heal. But I know on some retreats, on other retreats, it's just a joy to witness and to be a part of it. And we don't necessarily have to come forward and share. So I don't want that to be, something that might intimidate some of you, if that sounds scary. You're always just welcome to come there and to witness. Maybe this is your first retreat you've ever been on, if you're considering going. Just being there and watching the group and being present with others as they share, that is also so deeply relationally healing. And you'll notice that others will bring forward things that probably deeply relate to what you're going through. And it just gives you this sense and this knowing that you're part of a group, that others are there for you, that others have your back, and that your problems and your needs are not trivial, they're not meaningless, they're not going unmet. It's like you'll really feel met in this type of container. Your inner child, your screaming inner child, your inner child that's in pain, that's hurting, he or she will feel deeply met in this type of container. So if you feel a calling towards something like this, if this is what you feel like you're needing, and I feel like because it was exciting for me in my meditation, I feel that there's a reason I'm coming forward and sharing this, that there might be a few of you who are thirsty for this kind of experience and have been looking for maybe the right container to have this kind of experience in. And like I said, these containers are so safe and they're so held in this divine, feminine, loving presence that it's really a great entryway into this kind of work. Like I said, if maybe this is your first retreat, these are really beautiful, like I said, doorways into having this kind of healing experience. So if this calls to some of you, I'm going to put a link in my description box, and I'll try to do one in the comments as well. It's a contact me link. And I just want you to contact me about this and say, hey, Matt, I saw your video about the Chesaray Retreat, and I'm really interested, and just tell me a little bit of why you think you'd be a good fit. And then I'll get everything set up for you. It'll be an easy process from there. And yeah, I really, I would just love to see some of you there. It would be such an honor to kind of, in a sense, co-host you on your first retreat or something, or co-host you on this Chesaray retreat. Just kind of bring you into the fold, kind of bring you into this container that has been so impactful for me. It's one of the reasons I can be so authentic and so vulnerable and so open with you guys, is because I've been on these type of retreats and they've been so healing for me, and I've got to feel what it's like to be open and vulnerable with the group and not to be shunned, or, and not to have all those other experiences we might have when we were open and vulnerable when we were young. But to have this experience where people are there and they're sitting in love, and the container is just filled with unconditional love for all parts of us. To feel that felt sense feeling in our soma, in our body, where every single part of us is welcome. you really can't put I want to say price, but I don't even know what the right word is. You can't put a measurement to how impactful that can be for our nervous systems. That's the big thing about these retreats, is they help our nervous systems regulate so much, because our nervous systems get to have these experiences where others are seeing us and hearing us deeply, and it's like this rewiring experience for our entire nervous system, because a lot of our pain and trauma, it comes from other people. It's relational, right? So it makes sense that to allow our nervous system to really heal, it needs other people again. It needs more positive relational healing experiences. And that's really what retreat can offer. It can really start to help your whole system start to rewire and start to learn oh, people are safe. I can be open. I can be authentic. I can be my genuine self around others. And we start to learn this, our body starts to learn this safety around other people. And the beautiful part about it is we carry that out into the world with us. I know, because I've been on so many of these Chesaray retreats, I feel infinitely safer in the world now. I'm getting so many chills saying that. And I can really credit that to what I've experienced on these retreats with Chesaray, and just this really loving group that tends to gather with her. You just start to, your whole soma, your whole energy body, your whole nervous system, it really does restore it in many ways. It rehabilitates it, so that you get to feel like you get to be big. You get to be big again, because you get to experience what it's like to be all of yourself around people, maybe for the first time in your life, since you were little and people were saying, hey, stop that, be small. You get to re-experience what it's like to be all of you with other people watching you, if you want that. Or you get to witness other people doing it, and just witnessing other people in all of the vulnerable shapes that they tend to come forward in on these retreats. It starts to create this felt sense of safety within you, that, oh, it's okay to be like that. And we might know it on a conscious level, but sometimes it's like our body has to see it. We have to feel it in our bones. We have to literally experience it, either ourselves or witnessing it, for those deeply unconscious parts to sort of start unraveling and to let go of their gripping and to release. So if you have a lot of deeply unconscious parts in you that are clinging really intensely, retreat is an excellent way for those parts to start to learn that it's okay to relax and to open around other people, and just in general, that for those parts to learn oh, I'm safe here, I'm being held here, there's a tribe here that is, that has my back, that I can feel safe in. And it's so important to start to feel safe around other humans if we really want to be able to be ourselves out in the world. If we really want to, I want to say the word self-actualize, be who we're truly meant to be in this lifetime. Relational healing is the key. It really is a transformational and deeply impactful doorway to walk through. And I know it takes courage, I know it can be scary, but that's why I'm recommending Chesaray's retreat to you guys, because it really is just this gentle and safe and lovely healing container. And it's just, I know it's going to be so good for whoever this video resonates with. If you're feeling that call, I know that this retreat is going to be so good for you. And it's really going to be this entryway into so much relational healing that I know maybe some of you are feeling deep down you really need. So I look forward to hearing from some of you. Like I said, it would be such an honor to co-host you next weekend's retreat, June 3rd and 4th. Just I'll put the contact me link at the very top of the description box. And like I said, I'll try to put one in the comments as well. Just reach out to me, make sure you spell your email correctly, and I will get right back to you as soon as I can, and we will get you all set up. And yeah, and I will look forward to having just a lovely time with you next weekend. Sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here, and I will see you all in the next video. Namaste.